Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Hek'ma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Beam me up, Chris, coming at you live from the Taj Mahal of football, the Star in Frisco, home of your Dallas Cowboys, Cowboy Nation. You know what time it is. This is the Players Lounge, sponsored by Aristocrat Gaming, and it's 2 o'clock.
It is.
You're now rocking with the best. I'm Hek'ma Harrison alongside former safety of the Dallas Cowboys,
Yes,
my
sir.
man Barry Church is in the building. I don't want to call this a Victory Monday because we have Victory Friday. So this is just a, we already have the 24-hour rule.
Yeah,
so
can't do that.
Can't do that. But it's been a long weekend. It's been some great football on television, man.
You already know.
Oh, man, it was off the chain. And we're going to talk about all of it. But before I get to any of that,
What's happening?
check your mentals, man. What's going on
Yes,
with you, man?
I thought you was going to
check
forget
your
me,
mentals.
dog.
Now we're going to do that to you, man. And let me tell you something, man. I do that because I had a friend in high school, man. Something tragic happened to him, and I never got an opportunity to check his mentals. And so that's why I said, when I got an opportunity to do what I do, I think it's first best to start by asking, what's good with people, man.
Oh, man, well, since you're asking, everything's been going great.
Yeah.
Always is, man. Can never complain. Family doing great. Everybody's healthy, so, I can't complain. A little hot outside, but, it is Texas, so it's going to be like that, man. So how about yourself, Heck? How you feeling today, man?
You know what? I'm not going to tell you no lies, Barry.
Okay.
Man, I am a father of a high school wide receiver.
Yeah, it is.
And we starting this season off in a way, man. His production it hadn't been there.
Okay.
And father is hot.
Uh-oh.
That is hot. That is hot. I need some production. Man, it's just, overall, it's just one of the things that's on my mind, man. It's football.
Okay.
It's football season.
It is football season.
And, I'm a football dad, and so I'm pulling for my son. But man, it's just a lot of things going on with him that I'm just like,
Is he getting opportunities?
That's the thing. The opportunity.
Okay.
Him getting the opportunity. Okay. And this is, just in a place of just frustration. But, we believe in the power of prayer.
It is.
And we are staying steadfast. And you know how these things go. It's about being ready for the opportunity when it presents itself.
That's all you got to be.
I'm
ready.
I'm just continuing to preach to him, stay ready for his opportunity. So, I'm sure there are other parents out there that feel the same way.
Well, let him know. I didn't really start until my senior year in high school.
Barry.
And that's when I got my first offer. So,
Barry,
there's always time. Always time.
I'm gonna give you this boy a number so you
tell him. You gotta let him know. It's gonna come eventually.
Oh man. You see, that's what I'm saying. See, when you share what's going on with you, you end up talking to somebody that can kind of lighten up.
I'm telling you, I didn't start.
You see how
I played a little bit here and there, and then senior year took off. But there's time. There's always time. Always time.
Barry, that was good for my soul.
I'm letting you know.
Thank you, dog.
The mentals, brother. The mentals.
Thank you, man. Football.
We got that football, baby. We got that football.
Man, it was. Did you see? Let me just start with Saturday. Did you see the game on Saturday? The Alabama Georgia.
Oh, you talk about a game. Now that was exciting. The first half was a slobber knocker. It was a wipeout. I was like, oh man, should I change the channel on this, man? And I was like, you know what? Because the old lady wanted to watch Power and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what?
Not Power.
Let me just give them one more series. Let me get one more series. And man, I'm glad I did that. Yeah. Because them boys steamed back, and I thought it was over. Right. Once they caught that momentum, everybody knows in football, man. Once that momentum train started rolling, it's hard to stop. No matter who you are, it's hard to stop. So. That was an awesome game, back and forth like that. And the kid, Williams, 17.
Oh, that's crazy.
Doing this out here, man. I couldn't have. 17, like I was just getting ready to start my first, in high school, my senior year. And he's out there doing this in the SEC.
Yeah, he reclassified. The kid reclassified in his junior year and graduated. And so what he's doing, it really is it's really phenomenal to see a kid his age, but just the just to know that his talent level was already where it is right now. Can you imagine this kid in high school?
Man,
I wouldn't imagine seeing my child across from somebody that's blazing like that, catching the ball like that. But I just think, it was not only that Georgia-Alabama game was an amazing game that just came down to so many different drives and scores, but also that Colorado University of Central Florida game was a good game.
That was big time.
To me, I don't know about you, man, I don't know, but to me, man, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
He got the audacity to come back over here,
anyway,
man.
Let me just say this, man. Hey, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, to me, is the best player in college football right now.
Nah, and when you could do what he's doing on both sides of the football, it's outstanding. Because when you look at it, man, just playing one side of the football is hard enough.
Yeah.
To be able to excel offensively, go over to the defensive side of the football, excel as well. Yeah. Playing, 80, 100 snaps a game, to me it's ridiculous. And the way he's able to make plays on both sides of the football, man, that dude is special.
And it's something to watch. And going all the way back to a player by the name of Charles Woodson. If you ever got a chance to see Charles Woodson when he was playing college ball, he was probably not even probably, he was must-see TV. He was, you knew while you were watching, Charles Woodson was about to do something, and it's the same thing as I'm watching Travis. It's like, man, he is about to do something. He'll do something special, and it is magnificent to see. But the NFC East, moving on to Sunday, the NFC East is getting very interesting.
Interessante.
It's very interesting.
Yes,
and I did something, I don't do it all the time, but I picked the Eagles to beat Tampa Bay. And
I did too, man. It was You talking about problems?
That is a problem, and I'm telling. And the thing that I'm starting to see with the way that the NFC East matches up each and every year. We said that there hasn't been a back-to-back NFC champion, I believe, since 2000.
Yeah.
All right. It's been that long, but here you have a team in the Philadelphia Eagles that is struggling in every way, defensively, and obviously Jalen Hurts was out his weapons, and it's Boo Eagles for life for me. I have no sympathy for him, but he was definitely limited. And your guy, Kellen Moore, and that offense.
It looked stagnant. It did. Outside of Saquon, who he's making every opportunity he has out there to shine. He's doing it. That dude is, he's a freak of nature. But, they were missing, A.J. Brown, top wide receiver, Devontae Smith, top wide receiver, as well as their Hall of Fame left tackle, Lane Johnson. But still, even with those three guys missing, you would like to see some type of something going on. You look at the Rams, those guys were missing both of their top two wide receivers and some other pieces, and Sean McVay is still able to get the most out of that team. When you look at Philadelphia, man, I see trouble brewing. I see trouble brewing between that head coach, that quarterback, offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, my boy, I don't know. It just ain't adding up. And then when you look at it, I know Hurts has been a turnover machine last year. Yeah. It's like it carried right over into this year. The man is still turning the football over, whether it's taking too long in the pocket, getting stripped, throwing interceptions. He's making mistakes, and he looked like he's kind of regressing. I hate to say it, but he looks like he's kind of regressing out there for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm going to give my boy K Moore, an opportunity. I'm going to wait till he get all his pieces back and see what they can do out there. But as of right now, man, it does not look good for Philly up north. It does not at all.
18 for 30, 158 yards for Jalen Hurts. He was sacked 6 times.
Oof.
That running game, Saquon Barkley did have 10 carries, 84 yards. Jalen had 8 carries, 20 yards. They ended up with 113 total as a team, but he was playing with a lot of his weapons were gone.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
But man, there is another problem brewing. Other than we love to see when the Eagles are no good. The Washington Commanders. Look, here's the thing.
Heck, let them know. Because we got to keep it a beat on the show, man. So I got to know how you feel.
And, this is what we're going to do. And I've always told you personally, I have a disdain for every team in the NFC East. I wouldn't call it I hate them. I just don't like them. I hate the Eagles. But I don't like everybody.
Them,
I just don't like them.
Just don't like them. I get it.
But I can tell you right now that the Commanders are a problem. Big problem. And Dan Quinn and that defense right now, and before you even start talking about Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn and that defense, one of the things that I'm seeing just with eyeball is he has a bunch of guys, all 11 of them on defense, believing in his scheme, and they are flying to the ball. And you are somebody that have played on great defenses, and you know what that feeling is when you know the assignment, alignment, and all you can do is just go out there and play free. That's what I see when I'm watching the Commanders on defense.
Yeah, and you're right about that. Everybody believes in that system. Dan Quinn was always a player's guy. Like everybody, they loved the man when he walked in, and they kind of took to his system. Whatever the system may be, he's the type of coach that you'll run through a brick wall for. So you're going to get the most out of each and every one of your players out there. But what we see with that team is depth. We see that along that defensive line, that the Fowlers of the world, the Armstrongs of the world. Of course, you got the two Bama boys in the inside, and they're going to hold it down. They're your blue chippers. They're going to hold everything down. But that depth, they're able to rotate guys in, and you get fresh legs each and every time you either go after the quarterback or you're out there trying to set an edge and making sure the run game is under contained. That Washington defense, they're playing well. I ain't gonna call them, the 2000 Ravens or anything like that, but they're playing well as a unit out there. The only weak link I see from that defense right now is the secondary. The secondary can be had, but as the weeks progress and you understand it just like I do. When Dan Quinn first got here, that rush started to work. And then the back end came along with the rush because you can't work without one another. You know what I'm saying? The rush works with the back end works with the rush. And that's what we saw in Dallas. Guys were benefiting off of a great pass rush. 11 picks for Trayvon Diggs. You got Bland getting 14 in his first 2 years. Right. So as that rush progresses for Washington, that secondary will come along. But to me, the defense, Dan Quinn is amazing and all that. Man, what about that Q? So LSU's on, man.
So here's the thing, and I'm sure you've been like this in your career. Special when you see it. Yeah. Special when you see it. I don't care what level it is, college, pro, it could be boxing, it could be basketball. When you see a special player, it's just like, that's what it is. I mean, Matthew Stafford. I saw Matthew Stafford in high school at Highland Park High School, and I watched him go from one side of the field to the sideline and throw a ball on a frozen rope to the other side. Yeah. And I looked over at my girlfriend, which was now my wife, and I said, oh, he gonna play on Sunday because I don't care what level you could throw across your body on a frozen rope across the field. That's special, right? Special, yeah. And when I watch Jaden Daniels, I feel like I'm watching something special. And look at that! Look, 26 of 30, 233 yards, a tud, and an interception. All right, and no sacks on this guy. The other thing that really bugs me is the fact that Brian Robinson Jr. had 21 catches for 101 yards. Also, Jeremy McNichols, 8 carries, 68 yards. Jaden Daniels also had 8 for 46 and a touchdown. They had 4 rushing touchdowns. Now, when I think about the Dallas Cowboys and I do these numbers, right, 216 yards on the 216 yards on the ground, and a guy that was once the laughingstock of the NFL, Cliff Kingsbury, as the offensive coordinator.
You got to give respect.
Talk about being rejuvenated as an offense, man. They look good.
They do look good. They do look really good. And then what stuck out to me about Daniels, of course, the numbers out there, but his completion percentage. I mean, through the first 4 games, I think he set a record. It might be 82% for that 4-game stretch. And he's a rookie. He's a rookie out there doing this. I mean, he's seeing defenses. And to me, what kind of jumped out to me is he never looks like he's rushed. He's always just back there, okay, cool, calm, and collected. Okay, this is what they're in. All right, I'm not going to force it over here. I'll throw it out of bounds. I'll check it down to this guy. I'll check it down to that guy, or I'll use my legs. He never really puts the ball in harm's way out there, and he knows when it's time to make the big play. And who's the most thankful for all of this? Scary Terry McLaurin, who's gone through quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, shown the patience. He never was out there talking about trade me. I need to get out of this. Finally got a guy that can get him the football, and you see his skill set as well at the wide receiver position. So, great job of Cliff Kingsbury. Dan Quinn surrounding his players with people who can go out there and get the job done. You see Zach Ertz, who disappeared for like 2 years. He's on the way back. He's being that security blanket for the quarterback. And then you look in the backfield, they got the kid from Alabama, Robinson, the big bruiser. And then he didn't play this past game, but Eckler, from the Chargers out there doing his thing as that kind of scat back. So they present a little bit of a problem for the entire NFC East, man. They got a good offense. Defense is coming along. So once again, that momentum train is rolling for Washington. And we got to hope that Dallas can be that buzzsaw.
Man, Dan Quinn is one of those transformative coaches. And I didn't take that for granted when he got here, because I saw how the guys how they could flock to him and his methods. But you could see just how infectious he is and the way that this team is believing in him. Every time they have a locker room session where they get a chance to show him around those guys, man, it's something to admire. One, that the turnaround. They are 3-1, 2-1 in the division, in first place currently with the big win over the Arizona Cardinals, 42-14. Boy,
that was a big dub.
Kyler Murray. NAZ. Yeah. Kyler Murray is looking funny in the light right now, man. Yeah. And there's a lot of things. I mean, the teams that you thought that were going to be that in the NFL, it's a lot of things happening, man, with a lot of different teams. The one thing about it, the Washington Commanders are one of those teams that we definitely have to worry about. Another NFC team I was going to tell you, the Vikings. The Vikings, if you got a chance to see
I watched that entire game.
Sam Darnold and the way that thing is being transferred. Sometimes the football guys just won't let you mess it up, because I promise you, the Vikings were going to start J.J. McCarthy.
Oh yeah, they were going to. It was 100% sealed, signed, and delivered. He was going to be up in there.
They were going to, and like I said, nobody would ever wish anyone gets hurt, but just the football guys won't let you mess it up. And Sam Darnold being in there has changed that whole thing. And going to the team that we play Sunday night, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the same thing. Football guys wouldn't let them mess it up, because I'm telling you, they were going to start Russell Wilson instead of Justin Fields. And Justin Fields, to me, is probably the quarterback actually that they needed. We're going to open the seal on this whole Cowboys and Pittsburgh Steelers matchup and try and figure out a way how are we going to get away without Tank and Micah. Y'all marinate on that, man. We'll be right back with the Players Lounge.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys! Back to the Players Lounge.
This segment is brought to you by Yeti, the official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys. And man, this is a good week. This is a good week. If you enjoy the story history of the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is a good one.
That's one of those matchup marriages that you just go into the NFL films vault.
Yeah,
and you can go back to the 70s, you go 80s, 90s. These are two teams that have always found a way to collide at the top of collide anytime they get together. And man, this is one of those matchups that everybody's waiting for. You're gonna be waiting all day for Sunday night for real.
It's in the Berg too.
It's in the Berg. It's in your neck of the woods. I'm surprised you ain't going home for this.
Can't do it. Can't start to get cold up there. It's starting to get a little. I can't do it.
It's cold and it's cold at night.
It is. Yeah, it is past hoodie season up there at night.
Is it?
Yeah,
so just set the scene. Like nighttime in PA is what?
It's crisp. Right now, around this time, it's crisp, but their stadium is right on the river, right on Three Rivers, so you're going to get that wind coming off of there, and you better wear a jacket, is all I'm going to say. You better wear a jacket. It ain't like nighttime around here where you can go out there with shorts and a tee and feel great. Nah, it's a little crisp. You get a little crisp, little moisture in the air, man. It's true fall. It's like the leaves are turning colors. It's true fall up there.
And that's the one thing about this matchup that really worries me is about, Brandon Aubrey and the way that we use him and that wind
swirling over there
at Heinz Field. It's a different type of environment. But whatever the Cowboys do, they are going to have to do it without the production of DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons and a huge blow, okay?
All three of them.
What I tried to do is frame this in a way that, because in the NFL, man, everybody's hurt. Everybody's going to be hurt. And that's, at some point, people are going to miss. And I don't believe in that theory of next man up. Okay. I just don't. But, Barry, come on, talk me off the ledge on this one, because I feel like the Dallas Cowboys defense, the get-right game that they had against the New York Giants, they're going to have to repeat that, but repeat that without two of their best defenders.
Yeah, I can't talk you off the ledge on this one, big dog. I just can't do it because I don't really believe in the next man up. If it comes to positions like that aren't star players out there, you know what I'm saying? Like we had Bland go down, Carson was able to fill in great. When we saw what happened with the other cornerbacks out there, but when you lose a guy of the magnitude of a Parsons, Tank Lawrence I believe can be replaceable at this point in his career. I feel like you can get Nealon can get the job done. Golson may be able to move out there. You can get guys to fill those shoes. But what you can't do is you can't fill the shoes of a guy like Parsons and what he's able to do for this defense. I mean, we see it time and time again. You look at that Cleveland game, and I understand Cleveland didn't have both of their tackles. I get it. Right. But still, all the attention was on 11. You're getting double teams. You're getting triple teams. And that's allowing the other guys to eat out there. Yeah. That's allowing your linebackers to do what they do because the offensive linemen are focused on 11 and making sure the game plan that he doesn't wreck it. All right, that's the thing when you got a guy like 11 out there. With him gone, Tank Lawrence gone, where's the pressure coming from? Right. Where are you going to be? You can go and try to bring pressure from the nickel position, Jay Lou on a corner blitz. You can, bring some of them safeties, Donald on a corner blitz, a safety blitz. But then you're leaving your already thin secondary exposed that way. Because that's what happens. When you bring guys from the secondary to create pressure, they're thinking that the quarterback got to get it ahead. If that thing gets blocked up, you're leaving a guy like Mukwamu maybe on the outside. Booth maybe on the outside. I don't want to butcher my name like that because we all know what we saw out there. All right? We all know what we saw out there. And I don't want to butcher my guy's name. Number 27. I don't want to butcher his name out there. But you're leaving guys like that exposed. I ain't worried about Diggs. All right, you can leave Diggs on the island. I'm not worried about it. He's gonna get his. But it leaves the rest of your secondary, guys that aren't as experienced, aren't as talented, just aren't as good as a guy like Diggs on the outside exposed. Maybe if you had Bland back at full potential, you had those two corners on the outside, then you could think about sending some zero pressures, some nickel pressures, some safety pressures to generate something. Because without the bazooka, and I'm telling you this, I played with guys that garnered that type of attention. Right. And when we missed those guys, the defense, it took a step back. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Same thing with Sean Lee when I played with him here early in his career. He was that guy. Yeah. He wasn't an edge pressure guy or anything like that, but he was the quarterback of the defense, and he made sure everybody was lined up. And he's going to be sideline to sideline getting his 10, 15 tackles a game. Right. When we lost him out there, the room, the defense felt deflated. Like, you started the game off, yeah, we could do this, man, next man up. The next thing you know, you get in the back of the head. Well, at least I was. Hey, Sean would have had that. Man, where was it? He didn't wrap around. Hold on, why didn't Lee would have been there for that? Man, second and 8s turn into 2nd and 2s. Yeah. 3rd and 8s turn into 3rd and 3s when you're losing a guy of that magnitude. So, look, man, it's going to be tough because, like you said, you're not only missing the bazooka, but you're missing Tank Lawrence as well.
Yeah, I don't like anything about what you just said.
It's just that can make sense, man.
I just want to be honest. I don't like anything that you just said, and I'm positive. Heck, I want to try and put a spin on this, and I can't find one right now. Well, let me go here. Okay, so in that sense, for a guy like Michael Parsons, that offensive coordinators know that he's gonna move. He's going to be a guy that you have to slide protection for. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to adjust your defense when he's in the middle of your defense. You got to do so many different things. When that guy isn't there, then everything that the Cowboys do is going to be obviously a mystery to you because you can't slide. I don't think they're going to be sliding to Chauncey Golston. They're going to be sliding to Marshawn Nealon. They're not going to do any of that. Mm-hmm. So if you're Mike Zimmer, let's do the element of surprise here.
All right. Little hopium coming in. Oh God. The hopium's coming in. But go ahead.
And I heard you saying like literally talking about those nickel blitzes, but let's talk about guys. And you gave him the first loaf. A guy like DeMarvion Overshown. Yeah. All right. And what you can do to allow for his athletic ability to flourish, because you got to have some weapon somewhere that's going to be able to put pressure on Justin Fields, because I know if the pressure's on him, he gets flushed out of the pocket. He's one of those guys that doesn't have any pocket awareness.
That's true. That's very true.
He's going to rely heavily on the running game right off the bat. Right, but they're gonna have to be things that you scheme up, and I think you can scheme it up with the linebacking group now that you don't have Micah in there. That's gonna make the offensive line adjusting.
So you're saying using kind of Overshown as that chess piece, you know, maybe having them blitz here, spy a little bit there, come off the edge a little bit, just to generate some type of different look for a guy like Justin Fields. And I feel like that's a possibility. That is, because like you said, Fields, I still feel like he's a raw talent. Talented as all heck. Got arm strength, got arm, run out of the gym, all that good stuff. But I feel like he's a guy that when he drops back, if one ain't there, and he's done a better job of it this year, but going through progressions and seeing, all right, if one's not there, I'm going to take off. Like, I can see that type of style going on. The only thing defensively is you got to know who's going to be his number one. And who do you got to take away that? He's going to first look at, George Pickens isn't there, I'm taking it off.
Right off the top.
So you got to be able as a defense to garner up something to be able to take Pickens away and hope that, because that hope word again, but you got to hope that, Fields ain't going to go through his progressions and be able to dot you up. He hasn't been able to do it yet. Time, proof, and consistency. So we can trust that he's not been able to go through his progressions and use his secondary options out there against you. Like drop back. He's not there. Still be in the pocket. All right, that guy's not there as well. Then take off. So if I was, the DC, if I'm in Zim's shoes, I'm going up there and I'm trying to take away Pickens. Pickens, to me, by far, is their best wide receiver, and he's their number one option when they do that drop back pass game or that shotgun pass game. So you're saying draw it up to where you take away Pickens, and you're saying Fields is going to try to take off with his legs. In that case, then comes an Overshown that will come into play as that spy.
Yeah.
It's a risky play.
It is.
It's a risky play, but at this point, what else you got?
I don't have anything else.
What else you got?
And that's why I'm saying all of my playmakers are on deck, and I have to be able to generate some type of pressure because I cannot allow anybody to just sit back there and pick us apart. Even as bad as he is, he'll find a way.
I mean, Daniel Jones did have success in that 0 to 15 yards. He did have success.
And then when you go back and watch it, you recognize how much Daniel Jones missed.
Yeah.
You realize how many opportunities were there. He had some big plays that he left on the field, and I mean, I don't know. Like right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are probably right where everybody didn't think they would be at this point in the season. The production that they've had at 3-1. I mean, this was a team that preseason, everybody's talking about Tomlin losing his job.
That's facts.
You know, they didn't look good at the quarterback position, even with with Wilson. But what has held true has been the fact that they have presented a running game. They don't turn the ball over, and they have a defense that can pretty much hold you as well.
That's true.
And to me, like in that game versus Indianapolis, and that's I was watching it so close because Indianapolis is one of the Dallas Cowboys are no longer the worst rush defense in the league. Okay.
What?
Yeah, the Indianapolis Colts have taken that.
Surpassed that.
Surpassed that.
Man.
But still, they were able to get out there and present some problems to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. So that's why I was saying, like, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, Overshawn could possibly be an impact on this game. And I'm looking for guys like Wilson, Dono.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get your safeties involved. Not only Jay Lou involved on those blitzes, but also those safety blitzes have to be effective as well. You have to generate pressure from every place that you possibly can. And we're not even mentioning Mozzie. We're just saying if Mozzie can just be New York Mozzie. I hope
he got to show me though. Like Mozzie, I got
you don't
to
have
see
any
a little
time
bit more
for consistency with that at all.
Because we've seen flashes and flashes here and there. I gotta see a little bit more before I'm like, okay, I can count on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can see, that New York game was as to me right now, it was it might have been a one of.
Yeah.
Because he was out there, he was balling. He was, setting the line of scrimmage back, getting the penetration. He was playing extremely well. And hopefully that's, things to come. Yeah. From Mozzie, but until I see it on a consistent basis, I can't depend on him being that guy in the center that's going to get off me, young fella. I can't see that just yet.
Yeah, man.
Just yet.
I was trying to sell that hopium, man. You didn't let me get none of it at all. But what we got to talk about, what we got to get into.
Okay.
What we got to get into is this offense. What are we gonna put in the bag before we get to Pittsburgh? Coming up next on the Players Lounge. Oh man,
not the hopium.
Hey, Danny McCray here for Smoothie King. You know every great workout deserves a great reward. So treat yourself right with new coconut smoothie bowls. Made with real fruit, crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, creamy coconut, and topped with the chocolate hazelnut or honey drizzle. With 2 new flavors, it's perfect for you and the workout buddy. So you both can stay on track even after you leave the track. Scoop up new coconut smoothie bowls only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2024 NFL season, Boss teamed up with the Cowboys and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection. The Boss Cowboys collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Arriving just in time for the start of the season, the distinctive attire from the latest Boss Cowboys expansion offers sports aficionados and true bosses the chance to show their team spirit and style. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, HugoBoss.com, and Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1. Any broadcast without the express edition of cook-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12. No crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane's sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31. Anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The Cowboys take on the Steelers in Pittsburgh on October the 6th, so we're hosting a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Join us at Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium to watch the game with Cowboy Nation. Cue Thunderstruck because the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are performing, and Rowdy will be there too. Watch the game, grab a Slurpee, and cheer loud. Get your free tickets at DallasCowboys.com/watch party. Have you ever been in one of those watch parties? parties?
I have not. I have yet to go to a watch party.
You know what? There's a lot going on within my family right now. So I don't know if I'll be attending your watch party.
But everybody else should.
Yeah, talking to my family. Yeah. I'm talking about, make sure you get to Miller Lighthouse for this, though. That was a subliminal shot. Pew, pew. But listen, I was telling you before we went to break about certain things that you pack, right? And will the Cowboys be packing the things that they need on this trip?
They better.
To Pittsburgh.
They better.
I don't know about you. When I go on a family trip, I put everybody's suitcase outside their door, and I say pack 2 things.
Okay.
That is a deal break. No deal. All right. I gotta have this.
I got the must.
I must have.
The must have.
Because my family will overpack. We'll take everything. My daughter used to take her stroller for her Barbies and stuff like that on family trips. I can't do that no more because the car get full fast.
Yeah, quick with the quickness.
Right? The Cowboys right now are looking in that bag is on the floor, and they got 2 things that they need to put in there. I just tried to sell you on one, so that's not going in the bag.
That ain't going in there. That ain't.
Okay.
That ain't going in there.
Well, let me. Okay. Golly, I'm trying to Perry Mason my point here, and you're not letting me. So, look, Barry. Fundamentally in football, when you go on the road, you got to have a defense and you got to have a running game.
That's facts.
Okay.
Those are non-negotiables.
Those are non-negotiables, right? You just said to me that I don't have a defense that could go on the road.
You don't have a pass rush.
I don't have a pass rush.
No pass rush. Right now.
Right now.
Got to see it.
Barry, can I pack a running game?
Man, you got to. I'm gonna sprinkle a little hopium in there. You got to be able to pack the run game, especially on the road. And after watching that, Pittsburgh versus Colts game, that defense it can't be run on. Now, granted, the Colts they do have one of the best running backs in the National Football League, Jonathan Taylor. All right, so not everybody is Taylor, and there's not a Taylor on this team. I'm gonna be honest, there's not a Taylor on this team. But you got to be able to sprinkle some type of run game to keep this defense honest for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because what you do not want to do heading into Pittsburgh is, one, you don't want to let them get that momentum and realize offensively all you have is a passing attack with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You go out there and let's just say you only run the football 10, 12 times. You're going to allow TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward, and the crew pin their ears back, and they just go and get after you. And I'm going to tell you right now, from what I've seen from this offensive line for the Dallas Cowboys, I know they're young up there with 2 players. They're young. But if you're going to let Cam Hayward pin his ears back against BB, Highsmith pin his ears back against Terrence Steele, and TJ Watt pin his ears back against a rookie, you're going to have some issues, man. Right. You're just going to have issues. I know that's one thing that you're going to get from Pittsburgh is that front seven. They're going to be humming. All right, they're going to be humming, and they got a guy on the second level by the name of Patrick Queen. All right, who used to be with Baltimore. He brings that same flavor to Pittsburgh. All right, he hasn't quite yet been what he was in Baltimore, but he is still a player out there on that second level.
Do you liken him to a guy like Roquan Smith? Because these 2 guys played together.
Yeah, they were right here together. Roquan, I still believe, is a little bit better. We saw that, yesterday against the dust out there in Buffalo. That man, he's something else, and he holds everybody accountable. Right. So, I don't see Queen being that level of a linebacker, but he's still a problem to be had on that second level. And like I said, you cannot let those guys pin their ears back. It's going to be a hellish day, all right, if they're not able to keep those guys honest and let those guys just pin their ears back and get after Prescott.
So what has been different about this season is watching the lack of production from the running game. 301 yards so far as a room for the Dallas Cowboys in 4 games, 301 yards. And games that they have needed the running game to be effective, they just have had no juice. And Rico Dowdle right now in 4 games played and has 34 carries for 134 yards.
Why not let the man get some flavor going?
Right.
Like we've seen it time and time again. I know they're going by this running back by committee situation, and I get all that. But obviously that ain't working.
It's not working.
Obviously the committee ain't working. The committee, they must have been with NCAA or something. The committee ain't working, all right? Let the man go out there and let him prove you wrong. Like, if that's the case, if he ain't got it, if he can't be an every down back, then he just ain't got it. But at least give him the opportunity to go out there and show that he can be an every down back here. All right. I mean, to me, if you look at all the running backs, and we haven't seen Cooks, but, from what I hear, but we haven't seen my man. But we have seen Rico, we have seen Zeke, we have seen Deuce. And out of all those backs, to me, Rico has the most juice. He can give you the most out of the run game. And it's just hard for a guy to go out there. One series you're playing, you might get 2 totes. The next series you're off. Then the next series, the next guy goes in. Yeah. You taking 2 some series off. By the time you get back in there, it's like, man.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to get rolling? How am I supposed to, get a feel for how the offensive line's blocking, how they're running defenses on first and second down? Are they blitzing on first? Are they blitzing on third? Like, are they playing the pass on second coverage or second down? So to me, you gotta let the guy get into some type of rhythm. I don't think he's a liability in the pass blocking game. He ain't Zeke when it comes to pass blocking, but I don't think he's a pure liability.
No.
Let the man go out there, give him 3-4 series. And then if nothing pans out, then you may sub somebody in. But I just hated that they don't let that man at least just get get a sweat going before you want to pull the man out.
When you obviously watching all the games that you saw yesterday, even when the Vikings and the Green Bay Packers, a guy like Aaron Jones, who was a free agent.
He was a free agent.
And I think 22 carries, 98 yards or something like that. Again, effective as a runner.
Yes.
And literally, that's what the Cowboys need. When I watch Derrick Henry do what he does, I watched him over last weekend, and I'm looking at Zeke, and I'm sure Zeke has to be the most unhappy man in that running back room because he probably feels like he hadn't even gotten the opportunity to give you, because 24 carries, 81 yards right now.
What?
24 carries, 81 yards. And that's,
that's 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
At its finest.
That's its finest.
Right? Just by definition. I don't think you wanted to come out that way.
No,
and those numbers are ugly. Those are ugly, but you're not getting, it's not even saying much to say Rico Dowdle has 34 for 134. And I get what you're saying. Like, let this guy get into some type of rhythm because it doesn't feel right as you're watching the game. Rico runs, on first down, he gets 5 yards, on second down, whatever it is. And as soon as he gets going, what do? They pull him out and put Deuce Vaughn in. Yeah. And it's like, okay, and Deuce Vaughn Deuce Vaughn's been doing a hell of a job blocking. He's been doing a lot of the good things out there. But as far as just seeing that continuity in the running game, it hasn't happened. The other thing, if you can't pack this running game, then you're going to have to get more production from your wide receivers. There's going to have to be more production. We know CeeDee Lamb, obviously awesome game in New York. You're still getting some production there from your tight end. But my God, man, look, either Brandon Cooks, something's going on that we don't know about, but he's still out there. So I haven't seen him missing, all right?
I got to be real with you, Heck, on this one.
Yeah, please, somebody tell me, what is it?
Cooks might be cooked. All right, wait a minute, man. He may, man.
Oh my God.
And look, and it's tough to say that because this is a man who's, no matter who's at quarterback, has always had 1,000 yards leading up before he came to Dallas. But I'm watching my guy, and it just this entire season, and maybe it's how the plays are being drawn up. I don't know, but it seems like DBs are in my man's hip pocket,
really.
Sticking to my man. There's no separation. And, he was going against New York's, third or fourth corner?
Yes.
Out there, he did have a one slant for 16 yards, but that comeback broken up. And then we saw Tolbert run the exact same route. Come back to the quarterback, have separation, get the completion. I know that's only one example out there, but there's plenty where there's no separation with Cooks. And this is supposed to be a guy that can take the top off of defense.
But I haven't seen that.
And we haven't seen it. We haven't. So maybe he's not getting those opportunities, or they're not drawing up plays to where he can, do what he does. But I just haven't seen. It's another one. I just haven't seen it.
Look,
I don't know, man.
And we were just talking about special as it relates to Daniels out in Washington. After CD, I don't see anything special. Yeah. I don't see another guy. And we've given so much grace to Jalen Tolbert, but it just seems like sometimes it is what it is. Yeah. And let's just call it what it is. Jalen Tolbert is a fourth wide receiver on any team that he goes to. All right, and it doesn't matter. That's just what it is. And you can't ask him to be something that he's not. And I feel like that's what you're doing. But I'm sorry. If I'm looking at the rest of this season, starting with Pittsburgh, if you don't get somebody else to be a part of this offense to have some production, dog, it's going to be a long night, because I don't see how you can win these games, especially unless you're paying Daniel Jones every week, and we don't get the opportunity to do that.
You have a first place schedule, so you go
okay.
You go get some guys.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so if I can't get it. I can't believe we say this. All right, so Hunter Lipke.
No.
You know what, man? You know what?
No.
You know what? That just felt wrong.
But I gotta admit something, man. No, he's been productive in what the role he's supposed to be in.
Can you rely on that game in and game out? Is this because Mike McCarthy, man, he's in a vice right now. Yeah. And if he can't dial it up any better than what we've seen, and I'm sorry, it may be good enough to beat the Giants. That's not going to be good enough to beat Detroit. Nah. That's not going to be good enough to beat the 49ers with. It's not going to be good enough to beat some of these top teams that you have this first place schedule. So where do you get that production from? And I'm just combing the roster at this point, and you're not giving me any hope. So I ask, like, who else is there?
And you know what? I'm gonna flip it and ask you a question in this regard. You know, we all see, Prescott as, a top 10, top 8, whatever quarterback in the National Football League. Is this the season, or is this an opportunity where he has to be that, and I say it, force multiplier, but is this that season where he has to say, you know what, give me CD and a couple guys out there, and I can go out there and get the job done? And I'm not saying, because there's only been, the Brady, Mahomes, and those guys are unbelievably elite, and I'm not saying nobody's in that type of category, but there comes a time when, it's you. Not saying it's his fault for the offense, but I'm just saying it comes a time where you got to be like, you know what? I got to put this on me. I got to put this on my shoulders, and we're going to get this job done. Give me these guys, and we're going to get it done. There's no other choice. Yeah. It's tough, but you got to get the job done.
Barry, I would say this, and I guess that was a statement that you didn't have to make when he wasn't making $60 million a year, when he wasn't the highest paid player in the National Football League. But when you command that kind of cheddar, you have to be a force multiplier. You have to be the guy that can take CD in a couple possibles and make them work. You have to, because that's all we got. We don't have. I mean, unless you know about somebody else that's coming from under, you don't have it.
I got 3 in a possible.
3 in a maybe. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts.
I mean, that's all I have. And if I'm going into games versus Pittsburgh that we know, look, man, this defensive end is going to be coming after you. TJ Watt is going to be on you. It doesn't matter. Look, Guyton you can pray for him. Try and hold up with some tight ends, chip, do all that. Teams do it each and every week, and they still are not successful. He is going to have to be that. And in order for the Cowboys to win in Pittsburgh, you're going to have to get the absolute best version of Dak Prescott.
That's true. And, to put a little hopium out there, sprinkle a little hopium out there, the offense for the Steelers, it's not that offense that's going to put pressure on you, in my opinion, as of yet. It's not the Saints, they were putting pressure on the boys. You look at Baltimore, they were scoring every drive.
Yes.
I feel like this is the type of game that can play into the Cowboys' hands. And if that defense shows up and they get a pass rush from somebody, I could believe it could be one of those games. But we'll see. A lot of hopium, a lot of time left before Sunday night.
What'd you say? Boost!
Boost them up.
It's been the Players Lounge, man. Newey will be back tomorrow. He'll be here. I'll be over there, but he's still going to be BC.
I'll be right here,
and we're going to be players in the Players Lounge, man. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.